On to what happened on the field today, Steve. And I'm just going to say it. It hasn't gotten enough pub because the focus is in a lot of other places, and this guy is considered a given. Josh Allen was throwing lasers today. Downright lasers, particularly during a red zone 11-on-11 session. I thought he had the throw of the day, which was it was a bullet pass, and after it came out of his hand, it was probably only about 5 feet off the ground the entire way to Gabe Davis, who makes a sliding catch in the front right corner of the end zone for a touchdown and beats tight coverage. We were standing directly behind the throw in the back corner of that end, on that side of the end zone, and I am telling you, the ball is coming straight at us, and it is on a line for about 30 yards.
It sizzles, yeah.
It was a seed.
Yeah. He can really play.
He's that guy.
He's really good, yeah. I don't know what to say.
To me, that's the throw of the day.
And I'll say
he
this
had
too.
others, but that was
once again, I'm walking around, and these guys, you see you over here, and they got a jugs machine. Right behind where we're at, they got a jugs machine, and they're over there before practice and after practice. And I'm looking at Justin Shorter. He's the number 18 jersey.
Fifth round pick.
He is enormous. He's enormous.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
I couldn't believe how big he is.
He's just long everywhere.
Yeah, he's
long
big,
arms,
he's a
long
big,
legs.
big dude. And then I look over and I go, yeah, there he is. And it's not him. It's Desmond Patton.
Patman, yeah.
Patman. He's just as big. Isaiah Coulter. He's
and
just
Tyrell
as big.
Shavers, too.
Shavers. They're huge. Oh, they got like 4 guys that are 6'3 plus that can really play. I said it, I don't know who I was talking to today. I was like, I was talking to Daryl Talley. Daryl's out of here. And I tell DT, I go, DT, look at these guys. I go, they're all huge. They're huge. I go, it was a decision. There's just no question about it. It was a decision. They said, look, we need some some size out there. Let's go get it.
Yes, and as we said the other day on the show, it was a pointed effort to do that for a couple of reasons. I think, one, we know how much the offensive staff wants the receivers capable of blocking in the run game. You got bigger guys, you can do it. Last year, you can make the argument Gabe Davis and maybe who's the kid that played on special teams, had the eye ankle sprain and got hurt last year? The Bosa's cousin. The played on special teams, the big receiver. The guy with the beard, Touchdown Jesus.
I
can't remember his name.
All right, somebody will get it. Somebody will.
Anyway, basically him and Gabe Davis were the only guys you trusted blocking in the run game on the receiving corps. Now you've got a host of people physically capable of doing that. That's number one. And then the second reason, Jay Kumaro. Thank you. I don't know why that name was way out of my cerebral cortex. There was no chance I was getting that.
It would be 2 days before I'd remember that.
And then the other reason is catch radius.
Yeah.
What was the problem last year? Drop passes, which weren't all on the receivers. There were times where Josh's accuracy was a little off and made catches difficult. Bigger catch radius, bigger chance of pulling the ball in. So I think those are the two main factors as to why they decided, you know what, we're going to go as big as we can all the way down the depth chart of the roster. And that's not everybody. Obviously, Deontay Hardy and Andy Isabella are here. And I got to tell you, Steve, Isabella popped up today, had 3 or 4 nice catches. He is tough to stop on that quick slant.
He's built low to the ground. He's got a really strong set of legs that he can quick twitch and jump around and change direction really quickly. And that's a problem for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
He's like Poona Ford. He's a little underneath their ability to get in there and get into his body.
There's almost nothing to hit. You go to jam him, and he's under you and away.
He almost looks as small as Hardy, although he's a couple inches taller. He kind of looks like that. He's one of those small guys that can really have a skill set.
When he's running, his legs look like the Flintstones. The Flintstones when they would go and try to start the car with their feet and they go brrr, that's what his feet look like on a football field.
Yep.
That's how fast they're moving. He is quick as a hiccup, man. So nice to see him getting involved. Still doing some return work out here, which I think we both agree is probably his greatest chance of making the roster.
Right.
But made some plays in the passing game, which is only going to help him going forward. And, what is he? Just 4 or 5 days removed from signing with the club, and he's obviously getting a handle on the offense. Otherwise, they wouldn't be putting him out there for reps.
Right, and it's going to be really interesting this next week as we start to get into it. They're starting to do a little bit more extensive work as how this return game is going to come together out in the back, because I think Isabella is a real strong candidate to do the punts or the kickoffs, probably the kickoffs. Hardy, strong candidate to do punts because he's been to the Pro Bowl doing it. That's one more thing they've got to iron out. Whether I don't think it's going to be the same guy back there. I think it'll be 2 different guys, but we'll see.
I think they might split the duties. Yeah, it could happen. Could definitely happen. We'll have to wait and see. I think we'll get a hint as to how it's going to look once we get to the preseason games. The other thing to make note of from today, the CB2 battle is heating up. Cornerback 2 is one of the main position battles here at training camp, along with middle linebacker. We'll get to some of the details of that in just a second. But cornerback 2, for the 3rd straight day, Steve, Kaiir Elam, working in with the starting unit. I think he might be making a move. We'll have to see how it plays out here, because Dane Jackson is still getting time with the first team as well. And they were tit for tat today, because late in practice, the last series of teamwork, let me get to my sheet here so I can rattle it off for you. Gabe Davis along the left sideline running an out route. Josh tries to hit him there, and it's a little behind Gabe, so it bounces off his left arm, and Dane is behind him, kind of playing goal side, if you will, and it slips off Gabe's arm right into Dane Jackson's arms for an interception. He goes the other way. Then, 2 plays later, Kaiir Elam jumps the slant route to Gabe Davis, pick 6 the other way. So those guys they're both turning in plays right now. They are not making it easy on the coaching staff. Both guys are making plays.
I'm really wondering, too, because we've talked so much about how things are different with Sean McDermott calling the defenses. How long has it been since we've seen a guy in a game jump a slant? The only guy...
Trey would do that on occasion.
Yeah. It's one reason guys are able to do that is because they're confident the ball is coming out fast, which over the last 3 or 4 days, I think the DBs are feeling that the ball's coming out fast because they've gotten good pressure with those front guys. And you've got to be in meetings when they're watching film. Coaches got to be saying, guys, on this, when we get this call and you see this, do this. It's coming out.
Plant and drive.
And guys are rolling the dice saying, you know what, if they're saying that, I'm going to do it. And they're jumping the routes. It happens. That's exactly how it happens.
Here's the thing, though, with Kaiir. If there's one thing that Kaiir is very well versed at, it's planning and driving and jumping a route, because he's usually he was playing man coverage his whole time at Florida.
Yeah.
So he can do that. And if he turns in plays like that, it's going to go a long way to helping him get on the field and potentially win the starting job. We'll have to see how it all plays out.
And if he's that good at it, they'll call defenses that play to that strength. Let him do it.
Yeah. Now, I will say, during run fits, he had to set the edge on one play, and he went in a little high. And because he went in a little high, he lost leverage on the block, and the run got outside him. That's an area of the game that is of the utmost importance to Coach McDermott. Run support corners are a critical component to the success of this defense against the run, the way it's constructed. So if you are a corner here that plays on the outside, or heck, in the slot anyway, you see the tackler that Taron Johnson is.
Yeah, Taron's the guy.
You better be bringing the wood against the run game, because if you don't, you're not going to be out there. Plain and simple. There are no exceptions made there. You can make 6 interceptions a season, and if you don't stop the run as a run support corner in this defense, I don't know if you're getting on the field as much as you think you are.
Right. And when the head coach is the defensive coordinator, it happens a lot faster.
Yeah.
The changes.
The middle linebacker competition, it was Terrell Bernard's opportunity today. Spent most of the day running with the first team at the mic. Tyrell Dodson slid back to second unit. I put the question mark up on Twitter, 2 days ago. Has the middle linebacker competition been reduced to 2? And Sean McDermott was asked about it this morning. He didn't say definitively it is, but he didn't deny that it is either. So I think just based on observation, it's pretty apparent, at least to me, that Balin Spector, who should have rotated through the way it went the first week of camp based on opportunities, has not the last 2 days when he should have been up for an opportunity. So I think the competition is pointing, if it's not there already, to just two candidates now, those being Tyrell Dodson and Terrell Bernard. And I will say this, I don't know what prompted this, but I'm standing on the sidelines over here, and you know how the defense runs to the alternate field to do some drills on their own sometimes. Mm-hmm. Well, they're running off the field this way. Tyrell Dodson sees me out of the corner of his eye. He says, "Don't sleep on me."
Yeah. Don't sleep on you.
Don't worry, TD. I got you. Because
yeah.
Personally, I think he's the guy that's going to come out on top in this competition, just by the way things are trending right now. And the main reason why is I've been impressed with his coverage ability. I think he has dramatically improved his game in that area, and I think it's going to be satisfactory in terms of what they need from that position. And as I said the other day on the show, I think he's demonstrated a level of leadership as well throughout the roster that I think has resonated with the coaching staff as well.
Yeah, he's an alpha dude, no question about it. And you and I have both been impressed by his coverage reps that he's done, because we didn't see that last year.
Yeah.
And I'm granted he didn't get on the field much, and we didn't see much of his his practice and stuff. But that guy is hanging in really well in coverage, and it seems to us, both of us feel it's been vastly improved. And when you see a guy come back who's probably, and I'm just guessing, told in his off season, you got to work on your coverage, you got to do this, you got to do that. And to see a guy come back and obviously work at it and do something better, coaches love that.
Yeah.
That's what player development's all about. You got to get the guy motivated to change what he has been and make himself better going forward. And Dodson seems to be one of those guys.
So we'll look for more evidence as to what's going on with the middle linebacker competition on Friday night when the team is back at Highmark Stadium at practice. And last bit of news from the field today, Gabe Davis with another solid day of turning in not just plays, but big plays. The touchdown on the laser throw from Josh that I mentioned, sliding reception for a touchdown, got behind the defense, made a couple of other big plays in the passing game. I think the biggest thing about Gabe is the day-over-day consistency that we're seeing. I think if you had a criticism of Gabe from last year, it was that, yes, he would deliver some big plays, but then the next week they wouldn't be there.
Right.
You couldn't rely on him the same way you did maybe the week before. Like, for example, you'd have the Pittsburgh game in week 5, and then week 6 against the Chiefs, there wasn't a lot there.
Right.
If he can duplicate this day-over-day consistency that we're seeing in training camp now, and you and I have said, he looks stronger through the bottom half. He's added muscle to his legs and stuff, looks faster. I mean, if he can represent that day-over-day consistency when we get to the regular season, you're going to have a hell of a receiving core this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it, we'll see, but it's certainly a better camp than I remember him having, even in his rookie season when he came in.
I would
and
agree
worked
with
his
that.
way on. I think this is as good a training camps we've seen him have.
He's really put it together, picked up steam this week, especially. It's been lighting it up this week. And Kincaid is still doing Kincaid things.
Yeah.
So we'll just leave it at that because it's just come to be expected, quite frankly.